in full force, and there are a lot of them here this weekend. Thank you for coming down. I know they've been having their own competition here as well. What do you think, Bruno? Marks out of 10? For both of them.
Sorry, I was distracted.
Who are you?
Both the cosplayers, I was just saying, marks out of 10.
Oh, both of the cosplayers.
You're the style guru.
Yes.
You're the style guru of the board.
I give extra points for the blood.
Right.
Yeah, but the hair was really realistic. And I was thinking, that one runner actually reminds me of Jess. Like a little bit. Is it just me?
Who?
Jess Brohard.
Oh.
Okay, it's just me. Sorry.
All right, and on that bombshell, let's get you into the draft for the second semi-final.
It looks like we got 3 out of 4 heroes right. So
yeah, bans are in.
We did okay this time. Yep.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we did okay. It's a good percentage.
3 out of 4.
Yep, that's decent. The Beastmaster ban is very interesting.
Brewmaster's back.
Yeah.
So the Beastmaster ban, to explain to the viewers, is more or less a Tinker ban, in the sense that Fnatic uses the Tinker plus Beastmaster combo on the Radiant side quite a lot, and they're very good at using that. So it's like, if you want to get Tinker, sure, you'll get it, but not at its maximum potential.
I have to give PPD a lot of credit for this ban. It is
awesome.
so thought through, and we've seen No-Tail running around with this Beastmaster, the support Beastmaster. He has no items but boost of speed, maybe a Blink Dagger if they're doing well, and then a gem. That's all he runs around with, and it really is the backbone of the strategy with the Tinker. So this ban is so much better than the actual Tinker ban.
So far, the best drafter in the tournament is by far a PPD. Like, I have to admit, it's just awesome how he's drafting, and you can see that. Yeah, exactly. He thought that through before he went into that series.
We see now the Doom and Faceless Void coming. When we were talking with Jackie actually in between games, he was saying about how good and how many teams are actually starting to pick that Faceless Void in the beginning. I was like, well, why is that? I mean, is it a reason, like, it seems like the hero wouldn't get banned in the second stage necessarily. And he says that the versatility of the hero is actually something really good. It's a hero that you can play mid, you can play offlane, you can play as a carry as well. Even if we mostly see him as an offlaner, he can have some versatility. And again with the Doom, so looking at these two heroes, you have no idea what the lanes are going to be like, right?
Exactly. I would agree. What do you think, Bagat?
No, I definitely. I also think that both these heroes are really good at shutting down the Panda. Like, you can jump in with the Void and you can kill the Panda before he gets his split off, and you can doom the Panda as well and just take him out of the fight. And Void is also good against Potom, in my opinion, so I'm not sure about the Potom pickup, although Potom is a really good hero. But Void is one of those heroes that's been coming more and more online recently. You've seen him played more. He's really good together with heroes like AA, Dust the Ban. You can just you throw him on offlane and he just gets levels, and then even if it's 20 minutes and he gets Treads and Mask of Madness, with an AA he can solo kill practically any hero on the map. He can just leech experience. He can also go into the mid lane, and thanks to time backtrack, and as well as if you get a PMS, then you can just sustain in the lane with just some minor amount of regen. And he can also be a carry, so it's a really good hero.
Don't you guys think the Void might be slightly overrated, rather?
No, I actually don't think so. I think we also made a mistake in our games that we could have definitely picked that Void up.
But isn't he 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 in this tournament?
I don't think that those stats.
Yeah, I don't think he has won a game, but again,
there was one. Maybe there was one.
He lost on C9 and on IG versus you guys.
Oh, I think these stats can be misleading though sometimes.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a very small
not
scale,
saying stats are completely
no,
picture or
absolutely.
anything, Bruno. No offense, but
not taken.
But I think that the Void is he is a good hero. I think perhaps he's just been misused a little bit, or just some unfortunate.
EG's bans right now are really on spot because they're denying every attempt of Fnatic to actually win the lanes, and it's really the style they favor. This Shaker they've been using quite a lot. Same goes for the Lich and the Wisp. And on the other side, Fnatic is really trying to shut down EG support. That's how I would see it, as they ban 3 support heroes, and the Lycan ban when they're agent. I mean, when EG's Dire is a bit of a they had to ban the Lycan. So right now they're trying really, it's a mind game about how the early game is going to go and who's going to get the most of it.
And we'll see that. And I wanted to ask you, Melk, what do you think that EG should pick right now?
Well, I think that Bloodseeker pick seems almost mandatory here. Either Bloodseeker, perhaps a Morphling. I don't know if they can actually pick up the Pit Lord in this game. I would like to see it, but one can only hope that they will do so.
That's a great analysis. Do you agree with that, Seth?
Yeah, thank you, Mark, for that
Michael?
analysis.
Well, I think that Bloodseeker, yeah, he can be a good hero. I'm not so sure about the Pit Lord though. I'm not even sure if he's in the game yet.
Yeah,
But,
Mike, you're really
I mean,
wrong
if he
about
was, then I guess that could have been a good pickup.
that. Yep.
Yeah, come on, Melk.
Yeah, just
You're supposed to be an expert here.
get your heroes straight.
I still think Bloodseeker would be a viable pickup. I'll stick with that.
Right.
Fair enough. And now the Tinker
Right.
comes, and no one banned it. It got to the second stage, and EG takes it.
How smart is that? Like, it's so smart because they
So
actually...
That's so smart. Yeah, that's
So
so
smart.
smart.
Yeah, because they banned the Beastmaster, so Fnatic is like, whatever, we're not getting Tinker, then EG is like, we're getting it all, we're getting it for us, so let's see if it works out. Like, right now they have a very, very greedy draft though. Doom, Void, Tinker, those are heroes that aren't really active in the first levels.
And they also have all their 3 cores already.
Yep.
So they're just looking at support heroes now, and it can be dangerous to do this, to pick up these 3. I think that if Fnatic can actually go fight them 3v3 and get like fight them with the bottom on a tri lane, and then solo the Panda against the Void, and then find a mid hero who can solo up against the Tinker, and then they can just win all 3 lanes, then I think they could take this game. But we'll see what their approach is.
I think Shadow Demon is a really, really good pickup here for the bottom, but knowing Fnatic style, they could go for the Skywrath mates. It's fairly decent against the Tinker if you manage to take the upper hand. Also, Meepo still in the pool. I don't think it's actually that bad against their lineup. Not the way we've seen him play it in the past. It's risky going into the late game, but if Fnatic can shut it down before there's a Dagon EB up on the Tinker.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit scary playing it against heroes like Void and Doom though. You can just if you can just catch one Meepo, then you can, you know.
Yeah, but having Excalibur's most remarkable performance in
That's
mind.
true.
The thing is that
That's true.
EG just guaranteed Fnatic that they won't, be very aggressive early on. So Fnatic can basically run whatever they want, and that's their comfort zone. This team, they used to run very, very greedy lineup, even back in the days where they used to play, Alchemist, Naga, Nakes on the same lane. So they can still go for something very greedy, and that's the Visage pickup. I think it's the first Visage we see in the tournament, right? Almost.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I was hoping to see that from Fly. The anecdote that we always tell is that by TI3, No Tail would micro the familiars, because Fly was like, it was actually not because Fly couldn't micro, it was because essentially you're doing so much when you're playing that hero, and if you have 4-second cooldown on Soul Assumption, it's really, really hard to actually micro the familiar and maximize the use of that spell. So it was like, No Tail, if you don't mind controlling my familiar, I can make sure that I'm casting all my spells on cooldown.
He was quite smart.
Yeah, but now he does it all on his own. He's grown up.
I like the Bane pickup here. I think it's really good.
I also like it.
Versus Panda, it's awesome. It used to be awesome versus Visage, but it's not anymore, as you could brain swap one of the birds, and it's not going to work anymore. But it's very good. I think it's going to give them a lot of control and laning presence, which they really lack right now.
And I also think that perhaps they denied the Bane as well from Fnatic. If they would have picked up Bane and gone offensive with Bottom, Visage, and Bane,
Indeed.
I think that could have been a really strong tri-lane offensive. That could have...
I think this is another counter-deny pick, sort of, because if you look at it, PPD still doesn't have a hero. It's unlikely that he's going to go for the Wraith King in this particular matchup, I feel.
Doesn't Psy play the Wraith King? I think PPD plays the Bane.
Psy plays Wraith King.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so.
Didn't we see PPD play the Wraith King earlier?
I think Psy plays the... Maybe we...
He
both play, but most of the time
maybe. But in general, I think Psy plays the Wraith King.
Right.
When they have Bane as well?
I think that PPD plays the Bane.
Okay.
Yeah, PPD plays the Bane. He's 8-2 with that hero.
Right now, I think Pyka's prediction was really right. Fnatic could go offensive, and they have a very, very strong lane. I do you don't want to face a Visage bottom 3 going offensive. So EG has 2 choices. They can decide to fight that. They could, if they want to run the Tinker +2. Diving into a March is really hard. Or they can say, okay, we're just gonna dodge that aggressivity from EG and just try to find something else, get our farm somewhere else, which they could do. I could see a Sand King pick for EG. I think Zai is still missing his hero, and he's awesome at using that hero.
That's
it
the
synergizes
man.
perfectly
I think
with the
Sand King
voice.
would be a really great
Okay,
pickup as well.
it's banned. Never mind. So.
And if you look at Zai's heroes, he has the Wisp, which is banned, the Enigma, which is not there, Wraith King, Witch Doctor, and Vengeful Spirit as his most picked heroes. Which Doctor might work with this lineup? I mean, Death
Yeah,
Ward.
Witch Doctor could actually be alright. They could potentially just fight with the Witch Doctor there on the tri lane.
The thing though is that they have nothing versus the 3 armor in early game. Like literally nothing. They have the Doom.
Well, they have Scorched Earth.
It's okay. Yeah.
So it could potentially, if they fight with the Doom, I don't necessarily know if that's the best choice though. I think potentially just dodging the lane and trying to kill the solos could be a good idea. Then again, the problem is that they have the Treant already, and that's why that's a good pickup, because he can actually protect the other solos while still being in the tri lane and doing work. So
the Sand King was really good for EG. It's a shame it's banned. Fnatic is, I think they've drafted EG into a corner right now. It's kind of hard to predict the last hero. That's, I mean, it's very good for the 5-man lineup, but it's kind of, they're gonna have very weak lanes, I think.
Until the Tinker is online, they have a very hard time fighting Fnatic. I feel their 5-on-5 solely relies on a very good chrono.
Definitely.
Yeah, and even if you land a good chrono, if the tree is outside, whoever he decides to target gets 3 armor. Chrono kind of wasted.
Now, if you're Fnatic and you're looking to be aggressive, you want to make sure you have solo heroes that can actually, you know, that aren't free kills to the roaming of EG, because EG is gonna look to find kills, you know, somewhere
5 seconds remaining.
else.
There we go.
And it's on.
What do you think, Paul?
I think we can safely say, ladies and gentlemen, it's on. It's EG versus Fnatic. It's the semi-final of ESL 1 Frankfurt. Let's go and join the commentary team, who are absolutely sure are going to be buzzing with excitement right now.
Buzzing would be an understatement. We are here for game number 1. EG going up against Fnatic. I'm Toby1, joined by Merlini.
We get a Meepo.
We have a Meepo, man. I know you were hoping for me to get pumped up for this one. And I'm sitting there going, you know what? We're getting a little bit of it. We're probably going to have some good tankiness, a little bit of a bruise split, Tinker popping around the map, and then all of a sudden, Meepo. That's all you need. That's all you need to make a game just brilliant. We're going to be watching every single corner of this map to watch where that Meepo is moving from Excalibur. At the same time, we have to remember the flip side of Meepo. If he gets nailed early on, it's very difficult to come back again. And we've seen it with Excalibur before. I want to see just how much EG prioritize killing off that Meepo, and when they do it.
They don't have too much burst though until Tinker does get his items. The analyst is talking about how EG can't really team fight. Even if he does get a good chrono, what are they going to follow up with? Stuff that they could follow up with normally. And normally you want, like, you know, Disruptor or Skyraz, something that's somewhat difficult to land your spells. But this one is just more a delay tactic, it looks.
Yeah, maybe, man. Maybe. Let's just go to the game. Let's just go to the game, dude. Let's just go in there. So, we get ourselves resumed into the game, so running through our lineups very, very quickly. I know well, you know, we're going to start with EG because I already know how much they're going to go nuts for Fnatic, the crowd. So starting with EG, we have Zai on the top lane as the VS Universe Faceless Void. We'll have Tinker being played up by Arteezy, a fan of Allison. PPD will be the Bane, and that leaves Mason as your Doombringer. For those people who might have changed their opinions, I want to hear how many people are here cheering for the Americans, for the USA team, EG. Moderate to low response from the crowd. Moderate to low. Maybe I just say the word Fnatic and see what happens. Oh, it might have happened at the right time, peoples. It might have happened at the right time. Trixie gets the arrow to PPD. They don't even need an introduction, so we won't give them one. But already the arrow on the bottom lane, so it's a little bit of a hello, but nothing comes from it.
Yeah, and they also are aware that this Observer Ward is there, so expect Sentry Wards to come out pretty shortly. EG, I don't actually see them run Tinker too much on the Dire side, much stronger on Radiant, but mostly just try and farm up, don't give up too much in the early game, and try and kill Meepo if possible. They have a pretty good solution for the Brewmaster, though. That's, I think, the key hero for Fnatic in the early game.
You think they should actually try and focus on Hardy? Because like killing off Hardy is going to be difficult just because of also the lane he's on. He's a long way down the south. But do you actually believe like VS should move off that top lane? Because we're actually going to have a Trixie. Like, this is actually classic for him to go Mirana off lane. Like, to have that kind of thing there. Do you think they should be focusing on him? Or should we be looking at the Meepo in mid, or should they actually make the trek all the way down south for the Brewmaster?
Well, Meepo is just going to be extremely difficult to kill in the mid lane, though, especially considering Tree Protector with his tree armor. So once he hits level 3, it's going to be pretty obvious when the supports are going to be missing top, because Fnatic does have an aggro try. So I don't actually think that they can focus too much on the Meepo. But yeah, Hani all the way in the bottom lane. Pretty smart laning from Fnatic.
Man, Arteezy is trying to have the approach of like, maybe I can stop Meepo from hitting level 3. He's just lasering the crap out of the Meepo, who is running a PMS here in the middle lane, so he's kind of dealing a lot with the Tinker already. I also want to point out the fact like Doombringer just could straight out abandon. Now he's up on the top lane with the rest of EG. But as far as like the off lane goes, like you've got Faceless Void Universe up against the Brewmaster, that's already going to be a fun little matchup. But this top lane, like Mason, he came back to the lane after starting off inside the jungle, finding another creep, but he got a clapper. Like we didn't actually see any kind of aura helping out this top lane.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit of armor too. If you got the Wildkin creep, I actually think that's probably the best creep for him. They don't really need to go too aggressively if they want to get kills, and Centaur is
Excalibur, be really careful, man. You're dropping very low with no consumables whatsoever, and Arteezy will really capitalize. The second you drop low, if he can get that laser damage out, it's only 80 damage, so he knows he can't instantly kill off the Meepo, but I'm the first one to do it. There you go, Meepo goes down in the middle lane.
Yeah, he didn't get pulled enough regen, actually, and when you start off with a Pro Man Shield, you can't actually get a salve, and he really did need a salve. If he just hit level 3 with a salve Meepo, he'd be completely fine, but Arteezy pressing his advantage in that mid lane.
Which means now Arteezy has obviously a bigger advantage over the Meepo, but Meepo has already split himself in, and we know Meepo can easily catch up as far as experience gain goes.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't give Tinker an early start. Like, we've seen just Tinkers completely dominating the game, even when they're behind. So if they get an early first blood like this, and I don't know, it's already looking bad for Fnatic.
I'm not seeing it that bad yet. I'm not seeing it that bad yet, because we've still got a lot of the other lanes to try and like make some kind of play at the same time. They're moving down very aggressively here. EG already with the VS done. Trixie leaps away, but the Brain Sap is able to reach. So Mirana will go down the top lane. So we go 2-0 in favor of EG. Maybe it is going to get a little bit more worse when that kind of stuff happens, because we're really expecting like maybe that Mirana lane to do something a little bit more effective.
Well, a very smart observer ward from EG here, as soon as they saw
middle lane.
Move out from the lane.
Nets, the proof's going to come in, just trying to get really up in the face here of Tinker. The Marsh Machine's just down. Excalibur taking a lot of damage. Tree Protector, he's got Leech Seed available, and now is on his way in, chasing down Arteezy. They're in range for another, actually Earthbind's on cooldown for another 6 seconds. So unable to chase down Arteezy. He's considering the turnaround, but they're not really going to do it.
And he has a rune on bottom too, so No-Tail was actually trying to camp here for the chicken, but as a melee hero without boots, very, very difficult.
And Zai's getting really aggressive here in the mid lane. That was his last stun he had. He's got a clarity available, but it's going to be very difficult to get a lot of space when he's in the position he's in. And he actually gets a bottle charge coming out from Arteezy, so they're ready to already throw a secondary stun, but they can't get close enough to Excalibur to get the kill.
Yeah, and the only lane that's going decently for Fnatic is this bottom lane, but Brew versus a terrible laner in the form of Faceless Void. That's pretty much expected.
Well, Faceless Void just meant to be down the off lane to try and survive. I'm wondering if he even thought he was going to be going up against like a one-on-one Brewmaster here.
He's getting a lot of CS though. 17 CS as a Void, 4 minutes in, solo off. It's phenomenal.
Would you actually want to see him try and go into a Hand of Midas build, or would you want to see like straight out damage from him?
I don't think he needs to go Hand of Midas. They have Tinker there for the damage. I think he often goes for more utility, more tanky items. And Mason can pick up the slack on that farm too, if they need to.
And Universe is also getting close towards level 6, and so is the Brewmaster.
Oh,
then we're gonna watch
mid!
What the hell?
A DD rune picked up by Arteezy. He just underestimated the damage, and Arteezy actually opted for a very, very aggressive build into the 3-1-1. Most of the time you'll see like 2-1-2, I'd say, is probably more common than 1-1-3, but not respecting that damage. Pro Man Shield does not help you versus that pure damage.
Now middle lane, Tinker. There's already the proofs coming in with the secondary Earthbind. That's a lot of damage on the laser, and he's still had the DD rune up and running. As Tree Protector arrives, but he doesn't have mana for Elite Seed. He's still short by 20. They're going to try to dive this one in. Excalibur, a secondary proof in the living armor, unable to protect him, and now Void jumps in, slowing down Tree Protector with the DD rune. Arteezy kiting out Fnatic, going 5-0 up on the top lane. Mason, the VS stun coming in on fly. The arrow slowing down Zai, but the damage is already being dealt out by Mason. Not enough mana for a troll trap again, but EG now 6-0 on the board. And the items will start to roll in. Already the Soul Rings arriving in for the Tinker, 5 minutes in.
This is no PP tree, that's for sure. Unfortunately, No-Tail has just had minimal impact in this game. 0-1-0, trying to roam around, shut down Tinker to some extent, but he's just feeding him more and more kills. 3-0-1. It's 5 minutes in.
Yeah, this is not the start the Fnatic were looking for. And like Meepo, like we talked about it, you shut him down, and to a point he is able to come back when he starts splitting himself up, but not to this level of a point. Like you're now 5 levels, 5-6 minutes into the game. Most Excalibur Meepos you would see, they'll be so much higher than that. They'll be the ones forcing the advantage, and he was really trying to force it. He came in, he re-poofed him with a Meepo, which didn't keep up on top of the Tinkerer himself. And so we got shut down the second he did it.
Brewmaster needs to get involved even earlier. He's also opted for Arcane Boots, delay his blink, and I mean that's really going to limit his opportunity to shine and dominate EG. And they have a lot of tools to deal with him too. If he gets caught in Chrono, gets caught by Doom, Fiend's Grip, so many spells. Trixie takes another spill on top lane.
Nightmare, Brain Sap. Looks like we've got Wave of Terror as well as stuns being used. And someone fired this cameraman. We're sitting on 7-0 at the moment. Hani, he's really trying to get up in the phase here of University. I'm actually a fan here of the Arcane Boots, because I think Hani realizes what he's going to really be doing on this lane. It's clamp into split and then try and kill off Universe, because he's clamped him down, 198 damage. He can't do this kind of stuff without the Arcane Boots, because this is so mana pool. There's no regeneration burst coming in for him, so he can't just try and directly win the lane up against the Faceless Void.
The problem is, even if he wins the lane versus the Faceless Void, it doesn't change that much in the grand scheme of things, because Universe, he's not really that important. He's just there for the Chrono, and he's almost always going to be able to get it off versus Fnatic's lineup. So he has to concentrate elsewhere, protect the Meepo, kill the Tinker.
Middle lane, that arrow trying to fly in there from Trixie. They really want to get this 3-kill streak that's currently on Arteezy down, but unfortunately, well, Arteezy's keeping his distance. They know 3 levels up in the Martial Machines will also cause problems if Fnatic try and dive this one, but now Void gets the Chrono. Trixie was coming in from the round side, but being lasered and the Martial Machines means no one from Fnatic can come in closer. Fly tried to, at least he has Soul Assumption charge, but doesn't want to use the mana. And now it's 8-0 in favor of EG, a one-sided affair currently here in Game 1.
Yeah, the vision set up by the supports is just so great at protecting Tinker. He is very, very close to his BOTs, and I mean, which of EG's heroes has been even close to being shut down at this point? None of them.
No, like Faceless Void is the only one who lost his lane in the 1v1, because Hani is now like completely outstripped him, but the second he rotates in and is able to get himself a kill with the Chronosphere, he already does his job. And EG, you know they won't stop here. Like with Bane, and they're going to fight No-Tail. No-Tail was just coming out, and he walks into a 3-man smoke gang from Evil Geniuses, now making it 9-0, and it also flags the fact that EG is looking to pressure out that middle lane, and they probably were searching for Excalibur farming in the jungle.
But what does Fnatic do at this point? Just stack and farm and look for Meepo to get kills?
They can't even stack and farm, because they stack and farm. The potential for Tinker just to BT in and take it in a moment is really, really high.
Well, Hani's closing in on his Blink Dagger, just sitting in the bottom lane farming. I mean, it's not a bad timing for Blink Dagger at all, but the other lanes have just been an unmitigated disaster.
The major problem I'm feeling right now is with like the Blink Dagger rune. I know we were talking about it during the drafting stage, about what would happen like when Void Chrono's up or when Brewmaster's now going to jump in. Like, you've got the Chrono to already stop the Brewmaster from splitting. Obviously, it's on cooldown at the moment. But you've got Nightmare, and it's going to be Fiend's Grip, which will directly control that Brewmaster. So what are you really meant to do with that Blink Dagger when you jump in? Now Mason, Excalibur, they come top lane. A 4-man gank to kill off the Doombringer. Scorched Earth will make it a little bit difficult, but not impossible. Fnatic finally get themselves on the board.
Oof. Nice momentum for them. Mason, they're already picking up that Midas. Not too much lost gold for him. And try and sweep it, but this is right before Tinker will actually have impact with his BOTs too. So even if Fnatic gets a kill, they won't be able to transition into tower kills.
Hani is trying to hold him off in this middle lane. He also wants to get close enough to clap and farm at the same time. Like, he's not caring about the heroes here. He's just hoping he can get that money for the Blink Dagger, but he's still just a little bit short. In the meantime, look at Zai on the bottom lane. Like, you know on the top lane, Bane's the only one that needs to be here at the very, very start. They can TP heroes in later, but VS is taking the farm on the bottom lane. Finally, Excalibur comes down here from Fnatic to soak up a little bit more, but with this Chrono as well as a 4-level Martial Machine, no one from Fnatic wants to come close to that. If they do, they know they're dead.
EG should not be able to pressure towers this early too. Already forced out a glyph in the mid lane, and I mean they don't have the best early game lineup. Fairly greedy and just getting away with it completely. And Fly still searching for his level 6-2. Tramp Protector actually recovered quite nicely in terms of levels, level 5 at this point.
How's Trixie looking up on that top lane? Phase boost as well, just a basic ring. Oh man, movement speed. No tell, running himself down back towards that mid tower. I thought for a moment maybe Universe would have a crack at that one, but not going to happen instead. Bottom lane, Excalibur, he just poofed, and the Chrono's going to go. Excalibur's in a lot of trouble. The Master Machine's going through both of them. The VS done tries to make sure the Moonlight Shadow, it almost saved him, but the Master Machines were still down. So the area effect damage was there, and EG, man, they are steamrolling this game at the moment.
Yeah, and whatever Meepo farms, and Faceless Void's just going to find them, calling a BOT, calling anybody else. And, I mean, that's on top of the Doom, too, that he has to worry about. Mason hasn't had to rotate from his lane at all.
But what does Fnatic even do from here? Like, they've tried to gank up on the top lane.
They have to get kills with Brewmaster Ultimate.
Now they're going to try it. Brewmaster clap in. There goes your ultimate. Split now. The Nightmare from PPD waits it out. He does have, well, actually, he's got Brain Sap, which might buy this time a little bit of time. 7-1 charge is also there. Send him up in the air. Is the support going to come back to try and help him out? The answer is going to be no. No one has moved whatsoever from EG and PPD. Now he's got 10-1 charges, but saves it. Accepts the fact he'll die. Tree Protector gets it. And, well, looks like there's a little bit of lag coming in for the players, but Fnatic do find themselves the secondary kill now.
That's probably as good as it gets for EG, or for Fnatic, or sorry, for EG actually. They just get one support kill from the newly acquired Brewmaster Blink, and now they're free to do whatever they want for the next 2 minutes. Without that, they don't really have that much fight. Maybe they get a surprise jump with Moonlight Shadow, but EG already prepared with wards.
I'm actually thinking about this for EG, pushing down towers. You're talking about like the pressure which can be applied by EG so far, or is being applied by EG so far. It's very difficult to keep these towers, well, low life, because we're still going up against a 3-level Train Protector armor. So this is bringing the towers back up again. So EG's like little chip damage won't be enough. So any kind of early map control it feels like they're getting is actually being like countered right now by that Train Protector, which may buy just a little bit more time for Fnatic if they can hold these outer positions, because that'll stop EG from like full map control.
But the problem with that is EG has multiple ways to go into mid-game very successfully. They can take down towers and limit Meepo's farm. They can just straight up kill Meepo with Chronosphere and TPs in from Tinker, or they can just farm up on Faceless Void and Tinker and just take it late. So they have one of 3 ways to play, and they can just base that on how aggressive Fnatic wants to farm.
TP's coming in right now on the bottom lane. Universe, he does have Chrono available. It's just one Meepo that did make the TP in. After the Wave of Terror also revealed out the fact that Mirana was just hiding in the tree lines, but they find a bigger one. It's a Train Protector over on the side. Void jump in. The arrow is coming up, but will evade every single hero of the EG lineup. And they've already got themselves a very, very quick kill. Yep, that Tinker's causing even more trouble. So they're going to take mid-tier 1 tower now. There's no living armor that can protect this mid-tower at all.
He has a Blink Dagger and 1,000 gold, and this is before any towers have fallen. And Train Protector, he's not going to be here to heal this one up.
Yep. And look at the movement coming in too. Fly, he's the one up on the high ground. They use the ward up the hill so they can see Fly up there. A very, very quick, and I think Fly just looked and said, which way do I even turn here? I got Universe that can leap up and chrono me. I've basically got 2 heroes coming up to my own lane, and if I run up right, run up left, they're still going to see me and gank me. Now top lane, the Earthbind, look at Mason. He just commits the Doom. The arrow flying in from Trixie, and this will be a kill going the way of Fnatic. Excalibur's running low, but he should still be okay. That Meepo is rather tanky at the moment.
Meepo is actually pretty good versus Doom. You Doom a target, all the other Meepos come in, and it's easy to run away with that one. And the Excalibur is catching up pretty decently in levels, though. Level 11 after 2 kills on Mason.
Brewmaster split, the blink away comes out from Arteezy. Familiar drop down, actually able to go on Zai now, so the Brewmaster has to turn his attention. With the Storm Brewing, they send up that VS, but they're not going to stick around. There's also more rotation on the way. PPD going to look for an opening at the moment, while the Brewmaster, actually Hani, goes back into his normal brew form behind the lines of the tower. They use the Moonlight Shadow at the moment to try and find some kind of opening, but with March and the Machines, they do not dare cross.
And still, another Brewmaster Ultimate used and nothing yet gained. And, I mean, this is Brewmaster's time to shine. This is when you need to get a couple kills every time you use a Brewmaster Ultimate.
They're going to move Ultimate now.
Swing into a tower.
Honey, blink it. There you go. Clap it up, and now with the Earthbind, they can just poof in a magic, and then all of a sudden, Zai, low on life. Void, he's actually going to jump in. The Chrono is available, and they don't even need it. Laser comes in from Arteezy. Now to get yet another kill. And Hani, he's on the run out here, able to blink himself away to safety and down the line. But EG, their movement and rotation is just so good right now.
Yeah,
And they've got everything working for them. Even Tinker with Dagon has now arrived. They're going to really have a hard time staying alive.
Yeah, that's super scary for them. Meepo, this is generally around the time where you'll find him with the Scepter, but looking at his farm right now, he is not actually that close to. And let's see what kind of creep Doom has picked up. Looks like just a Wild Can. And looking at his early items, they're free to do whatever they'd wish.
Man, they could go for Roshan, they can go for Town Pushes, they could do whatever they want. What else we got coming out? So we got like Urns, Lads, All-Stars, Mask of Madnesses, all these different things are like almost on the edge of EG completing them. And like, what are you really getting out from Fnatic at the moment? Like Excalibur, he actually went on his primary Meepo, no point booster, went for the Ogre Club to start with. So right now he's trying to get a little bit tankier. Maybe he can get to the Aghanim Scepter sometime shortly, but he's going to need a little bit more space to do so. And Fnatic right now, they're having trouble even finding space. Like, they've filtered all through their own jungle with mass amounts of sentry walls and observer wards. They can see at least EG move across the river, but they're going to notice pretty shortly, like it's already over. Roshan will be taken here by EG, so Aegis the Immortal gets to go into the hands of the Doombringer, and now EG have insurance when it comes to team fighting, which means probably they'll try and force something now.
Yeah, they don't even need to give it to Tinker because Arteezy is so quick on his Blink Dagger. Every time they blink in with Panda or try and attempt a net with Meepo, he immediately blinks out, and there's almost no chance that they can catch him with his quick reaction.
Jumps in, Chrono, stopping Excalibur, 300 life points. The arrow's going to come in, stunning on Universe. It's a good 5 seconds. Harney going to go for the clap as well. Universe, actually the poofs out to safety. Kills the Faceless Void. And the Moonlight Shadow protecting him past that point. Now the Nightmare evades the Earth Brewling's done. Now he can go for the Brain Step. Odowards fly. They keep on battling it up. PPD, the Tinker is behind him, however. And Nortel actually dying to the march of the machines. PPD goes down. Nortel, the last attack from Arteezy, able to get the follow-up kill. And they're looking to keep going in deep, but that Brewling send-up, Arteezy's in the air, but the second he hits the ground, he can just blink himself away to safety, while Zai, he comes in for fly. Where is Arteezy? There's actually no real mana for him to play around with here. The Doom's over on Honey, so no split. The attack on the fly hits up the hill, but he can come back into the engagement. Mason even throwing out the set of blasts, which he's managed to take up with that extra aura of his. Honey dying in the tree lines, denial by Excalibur, and EG will back themselves up a little bit further. But they still get the advantage here with him going down. Well, hey, Arteezy, long way in. Void, he's going to leap up here. Excalibur, the arrow comes in. It actually ends the Wicked Six streak here. And Universe has to leap himself away with that time walk. And now it's not worth the trade for EG.
Yeah, that's a huge turn of events for them, and I think that our Universe underestimated the tankiness of Meepo. He wasn't close to any creeps, so Tinker couldn't have TP'd in. It's not like they have Visage Familiars on their side, and he was just kind of out in no man's land, and you rarely see Universe make a play like that.
And I'm surprised it even happened in Arteezy, man. I know this guy like lives life on the edge, but looking up to the high ground where you have no real vision at all, a danger zone for him, but it's going to get less of a danger zone shortly. Like, all the Chronos are off. As a level 2 Chrono, you got a level 11 Faceless Void already with no hand and minus already buffing him up. PPD going to find Trixie. Haste Rune taken, and he leaps himself further down. But Universe, Chrono, he evades the arrow. Now there goes the Chrono, keeping the Familiars locked in position. They're looking for the kill on this Mirana, and they're going to pick it up. Living Armor, though, making it very difficult. PPD, he already used a Brain Step, and he got a time lock on him after leaping down. Universe catches the Mirana out. The Meepo also dying in the meantime, a little bit deeper inside their jungle. While Arteezy pushes out the top lane with Mason and Zai right behind him.
Wow, RNGG there by Universe. He had a haste rune. He was just hauling away. But unfortunately, I don't think things are going to change around.
Oh, no. Jump in for the split, looking for PPD. The Earth Brawling Sun with familiar damage. They should be able to kill him off. Tinker actually jumping into the tree line. So just a defensive rocket actually jumps a long way down. But rearms march the machines, and this will keep the Fnatic creep wave off the bottom lane. They have, however, sent the Tinker up into the air for now. But Zai's still here to defend, and he just, back to base, regen it up, and they'll come back out again. Another level Dagon. He's up to 3 levels on this Dagon now.
Really need the Blink Dagger on Meepo to turn things around, though. They can't pick off Tinker until that happens, unless he makes a mistake. So, unfortunately, that's not going to come until after Scepter. So we're looking at like 25, maybe 28 minutes when Fnatic can really change the game.
Just try to then, considering a Moonlight Shadow jump down towards that bottom lane, but EG, it's very difficult to actually hold him in one position. It kind of helps with the Tinker only having a Blink Dagger, but as you said, he's rather quick enough, but we don't see a 4-staff for extra insurance coming out from him. And so it's just a huge amount of burst damage. I'm kind of surprised too, like he goes straight into the higher levels. Maybe, obviously we got 2 great Tinker players here in the lineup. Like, what's your thoughts about going into the E-Blade instead of like just leveling up the Dagon instead?
I think Dagon's usually just more efficient too. He doesn't really need the Ghost Scepter this game. They have Chrono as a reset tool. He can just Chrono on top of him and then he can just blink out afterwards if he needs to. Universe takes an arrow.
Yep, leap him. Familiar's coming in with the damage too. Nightmare protects him from the first drop. Triody also going to hold him in the Fiend's Grip. And the Void Chrono, he got it off. Trixie really got dropping low. Universe, he's going to get the kill in time. There comes Arteezy. The Dagon goes to work. The Familiars, they have no real damage. Universe runs away on very, very low life while Fly, Living Armor protects him. The Brain Zap not available. The VS stun is, and they're trying to get rid of these Familiars. One down, the second is actually going to drop. Giving the stun, but they should be able to mop it up. And EG, they don't lose a single hero, then brought in support very, very quickly.
Wow. Universe actually got a backtrack on the solo assumption that was chasing after him. He had Mask of Madness on too, and easily killed him had he not backtracked. Well, I mean, very nice defensive sleep from Bane too. So again, they have a couple of fail-safes in case someone gets...
TP's coming top lane. It's a Triforce. Excalibur, he's going to actually poop himself out in time. Jump down by Universe. He's found Hani. No Chrono is available, and now the slow will come. He has used his Mask of Mana, so looking for the movement speed from that. While the rest of Fnatic were also making their way up towards
gets caught out on bottom.
That's a long way out. Excalibur, a lot of poofs as well. Look at that damage coming in from all sides. It's only the Aegis Immortal, however, and he's used his Earthbind already. So Excalibur is just happy with what he's got, especially when you got Zai coming in. Is there level death? There's actually Troll Trap holding Excalibur, trying to poof. Level death interrupts him. And VS able to finish the job. So Rockets were coming in from the Tinker as well, searching for the opening.
And not even having to expend the Doom. So Meepo, yeah, he needs his Blink Dagger ASAP. It's just so difficult for them to find engagements around the map, at least clean engagements. We see him get a kill, usually die in response, and they can't afford to have Meepo dying anymore.
He needs to get bigger, man. Having a 7,000 net worth, like in comparison to the EG, 12k and 10k.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just too far behind right now. You always knew you're going to have some trouble going up against a hero like a Doombringer, but they need something more, and when Arteezy starts doing this, it's very difficult to even defend your outer towers. So the net worth's going to continue to just skyrocket up here for EG as they take out more of these outer towers. It's only the second tower they've managed to claim, but they've pushed their advantage over 10,000 gold, as well as almost 12,000 experience.
Mason hasn't even really been participating in these fights, so EG has just had really great mobility, really great initiation, and Fnatic just scrambling to try and fend off this aggression from EG and retain possession of their side of the map.
Hilarious thing is, it's not even meant to be them scrambling, but a bottom lane, Chrono again, Excalibur, he's in a lot of trouble with that little Meepo on the side. And well, they got Doom, they got Fiend's Grip, they actually commit both onto that kill. It will ensure them, I suppose, the tier 2 tower on this bottom lane. Moonlight Shadow tried to protect him, and that might be the other reason why they needed to have that extra damage come out very, very quickly.
It's very impressive how much of an impact Universe has. All he has is Tread's Mask of Madness, and when you think of a Void 23 minutes in with Tread's Mask of Madness, you usually laugh at him. But 4-1-4 has been at the right place at the right time. As soon as he finds a good opportunity for Chrono, he always uses it, calls his team for backup, and gets a high priority kill.
It just keeps coming, man. It really just keeps coming. And I'm not quite sure how Fnatic is meant to deal with this. You were saying it before, like they're scrambling Fnatic to try and get there, but you've got so many Meepos on the map as well. Why are they scrambling? Normally this Meepo guy's meant to be controlling everywhere across the map. You're meant to be fearing his position.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, but he just fell too far behind in the early game. Tinker's net worth is almost double his.
He's nowhere near that Blink Dagger. 8 deaths on a Tinker in just 23 minutes.
Poor Excalibur.
Yeah, life is not easy for him, and it's a 9-1 Tinker. Even Vengeful Spirit is 5-for-1 with a Void 4-for-1.
But going back to the draft, EG, they know Fnatic's strengths, which is Tiny Wisp, and the other heroes, they know how to deal with them too. You might see a team like Vici ban out the Tinker as well as the Meepo, but a team like EG, they often incorporate Tinker into their strategies, as we've seen in this game, and Meepo, they have plenty of heroes that can deal with them. So they're not scared of it. Works against Fnatic in their mind games.
They should jump in by Hani, but already the TP out there from Arteezy. Able to evade the lineup of Fnatic once again. Excalibur, maybe he can find an opening finally. Zai, okay, where is the Earthbind? He decides not to. That's a hated Zai, and they're going to come in. The Earthbind flies down, but it's off target. VS done, and then the Dagon hit. Meepo down for another 50 seconds.
Yeah, and Arteezy's already level 17 too. So talking about that 1 second rearm, 2 Dagons before he can actually poof, it's ridiculous. Too much damage, 35% magic resistance isn't going to help you that much.
Fnatic are trying to find some kind of space, even if they can control their own jungle, but Rockets fly down. Where's he going to blink to next, Arteezy? He doesn't really have enough mana to keep fighting this one, even with his bottle charges available. Arrow flies up, but it almost actually reaches his own teammate.
One of the most impressive things that EG has done is kind of neutralize the threat of Brewmaster this game. Most of the times when you see him use the ultimate, it's a kill on a Bane. It's kill on...
Wonderful force after swap. Able to get the kill into Tinker. It's just the damage output. They've still got Magic Missile available to him. Brewmaster comes in, and he got Missile and Dagon again. The rearm went on it, and Zai and Arteezy, they make it look too easy. And also look at Zai. You talk about the control of the Brewmaster, you're almost getting an Orchid. Like 25 minutes in, we're building an Orchid on Zai after he's finished 4-stuff. You got another silence that Hani will have to deal with, and they're coming in again. There's no stun mana here for Zai. The Earthbinds are missing. There's nowhere to jump up to him because there's still no Blink Dagger. So 25-8, they got 2 heroes on the sideline. They're being poked on the top and the bottom.
And this VS is significantly richer than the Meepo.
Yeah, that Orchid is almost done. Almost.
And that's going to make Excalibur's life more difficult too. If he silences any of the clones, they're pretty much dead. Or even the main one before Blink, or after Blink rather.
Nice try from Excalibur trying to Earthbind into the tree line where Tinker was. He still would have had trouble reaching him because he can't cut through the tree line. They're finding familiars inside the trees as well. There goes your bottom tower. Tier 2's on the sideline. So yeah, 26 minutes in. Vengeful Spirit now has both Orchid 4-star treads. His net worth is above that of every single hero on the Fnatic lineup.
And another item yet completed for Tinker. Pretty unusual build to see this coming out, though. It will provide him a lot of sustainability, especially versus the Meepo. He can't change stun versus that.
Look at that blink. He just jumps over the arrow from Trixie in the rocket combination. He Yule Scepters up and evades the poofing damage of Excalibur. He's still in a little bit of trouble. Can't blink for the moment, and this will actually be him going down. Excalibur's finally going to get a kill, but Universe, the collateral is going to be here. He jumps in, and he switched targets, but it doesn't matter. The Maelstrom Pound still comes through, and that means Meepo goes down and Universe finds himself with a kill. But Tinker's on the sidelines for 62 seconds.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he didn't go for the EB. I think the more burst would be pretty good. Doesn't work the best versus Meepo since he has so much magic damage, but it is a standard one. And yeah, Hani has a Scepter completed, 27 minutes and pretty good timing, but again, like what exactly is he supposed to do? He has to worry about the Dagon burst, he has to worry about Doom, Chrono, and on top of that Orchid, we didn't even consider Venge.
He's dead. Fiend Script, bottom lane. Hani is locked here. They just throw Doom at. Whatever they've got, they're trying to kill off Hani right now, and they'll stick with him. Level death from Mason. There is no way to hide from all of this. And Doombringer gets another kill. This one's going to be over on the Brewmaster.
Not sure how he found his positioning into there. I don't know if that was a misclick or what, but...
Zai? Just for some reason in the trees. Gets hit by the arrow as well, and Universe will cut him a path out.
And poor Meepo just can't do anything. Split farm, split push, just not happening. Team fight just always gets focused, and they have enough spells to not have to worry about him at all.
And look at Trixie. He's desperately trying to find some damage. I'm wondering if this is meant to be like a, do I go for a BKB? Ben, how quick was that? I was like flagging it before, as we don't obviously show us the players don't hear it, but that was a really, really quick Roshan for EG, and they're just like, okay, they're sitting on top of the Aegis, and they're giving it to Arteezy. They're actually ensuring the Tinker at this point of the game.
And Faceless Void, even without that many items, he would still do tons of damage.
Arrow, good 5 seconds on Mason. Fnatic were waiting for this. Fnatic were waiting for an opportunity like this, but they really do not want to go in because they have no idea what's on the high ground.
I mean, Venge is hitting for almost 200 right now. Vlad's plus Pack Leader's aura plus Vengeance aura. That's insane.
Well, some teams do play him as a DPS hero. Do we dare say EG's playing with a 3.5 core lineup right now?
Well, Arteezy picking up that Aegis, so yeah. If they don't get 2 heroes dead with Brewmaster Ultimate, they're very, very close to losing this game.
Look at EG, they're harassing him from range while they're waiting for the Void Chrono to come off cooldown. You finally get your item. It took 29 minutes for it to happen, but it has now finally arrived.
Middle tower is under attack.
And now we'll see if Fnatic feel a little bit more, well, aggressive. Arrows are flying out, can't connect, and Tinker, well, he does arrive. Gotta wait for that proof damage to arrive. Moonlight Shadow, you'll set up in the air. Universe Chronos, and he gets a big one too. He finds Excalibur, and they get the kill straight away. Moving over to Fly, double kill already, and Arteezy just disintegrates Mariah. Trixie's down. The Brewmaster Brewlings are all getting picked off. I don't see it out of this one, and it is. It's GG. 32-9. Evil Geniuses looking insanely strong up against Fnatic here in game number 1, taking only 30 minutes to wrap up the first game.
Arteezy usually needs a little bit of space created before he can carry, but he created space himself.
Man, that was the big thing for him was like when that double kill happened in the middle lane, they just dived it in and Excalibur. Like he thought living armor was going to protect him, and then it wasn't enough.
It was level 1 living armor.
Yeah, what was that going to do? Maybe a little bit of overconfidence coming from Fnatic. They